What if everything you see, every object of desire placed on a pedestal for the world to admire, is built on a foundation that's not quite as solid as it appears? We live in an age of curated perfection, where the lines between what is real and what is presented as real have never been more blurred. Our screens are flooded with images of success, of luxury, of unattainable beauty. We are told, implicitly and explicitly, that these are the markers of achievement. But what if the very system that creates these symbols is designed to deceive? What if the value we assign to them is not inherent, but manufactured through a complex and often invisible process of perception management? Take, for instance, every diamond, every chain, every watch. These aren't just accessories, they are declarations. Each facet of a diamond is meant to catch the light, to dazzle, to announce its own worth. But beneath that brilliant surface, a different story can unfold. Is it a natural stone, mined from the earth over millennia, or a lab-grown equivalent, identical to the naked eye, but with a vastly different origin and cost? The gold chain, heavy and intricate, feels substantial in your hand. But is its weight a true measure of its value, or is its price inflated by the story it's been told to carry? The timepiece, a marvel of engineering, ticking with precision. Is it a genuine article from a master watchmaker, or a flawless imitation, so perfect that even an expert might need a second look? What if it isn't actually what it looks like? The world of high-end jewelry operates on trust, on the belief that an item's provenance and material composition are exactly as stated. But this trust can be a vulnerability. It creates an opening for a shadow economy, a world where perception is the primary commodity. In this world, the story behind an object, who wore it, where it was seen, the aura of exclusivity built around it, can add more to its price tag than the raw materials themselves. It's a sophisticated game of smoke and mirrors, played out in plain sight. What if the millions hanging around artists' necks, the pieces that define an era of music and culture, that become iconic symbols of making it against all odds, aren't just symbols of success, but are actually complex financial instruments? What if these chains and watches are not owned outright, but are part of intricate deals, leveraged assets in a high-stakes game of visibility and influence? They appear as the spoils of victory, the ultimate reward for talent and hustle. But behind the scenes they can function more like a loan, a form of currency in a system where image is collateral. The artist gets the look of immense wealth, the jeweler gets an influential billboard, and the label gets a more marketable star. It's a symbiotic relationship, but one that is rarely, if ever, transparent. But part of something much bigger, a hidden financial ecosystem that connects the mines of Africa to the workshops of Antwerp, the boardrooms of New York, and the VIP sections of Miami. Because in a world where image is everything, where a single Instagram post can be worth more than a traditional advertising campaign, the power of a symbol cannot be overstated. Perception can be more valuable than reality. The belief that something is valuable is what makes it so. This is the fundamental principle that underpins not just the jewelry market, but all luxury markets. It's a collective agreement, a shared illusion that we all participate in. And sometimes, in the quiet spaces between the flashbulbs and the headlines, a different truth emerges. What shines the brightest is designed specifically to distract you, to draw your eye away from the mechanisms working in the dark. It hides the darkest systems, the ones that thrive on ambiguity and leverage our own desire to believe in the fantasy. In hip-hop, jewelry isn't optional. It's a language, a uniform, a declaration of arrival broadcast in gold and diamonds. Before the first bar is even spit, the chain does the talking. It tells a story of struggle, ambition, and victory. It's a tradition born from the concrete, a way to manifest success for a culture that was told it would have none. This isn't a new phenomenon. It's a legacy that stretches back to the pioneers, the architects of the culture who draped themselves in heavy gold ropes, turning a simple accessory into a symbol of power. They were rewriting the rules of what success looked like, and their uniform was unapologetically loud. Each link was a testament to their hustle, a tangible piece of the American dream they were carving out for themselves, on their own terms. It's identity, more than just a name. A custom piece becomes a logo, a corporate seal for a one-person empire. Think of the iconic pendants that defined entire movements and record labels. They weren't just jewelry, they were flags planted on the summit of the music industry, signifying allegiance, family, and a shared journey from the bottom to the top. It's proof. In a world of fleeting digital streams and fickle fame, a heavy diamond-encrusted chain is something real. It's a physical manifestation of a hit record. It's the lyrical boast made tangible, the conversion of talent and grit into a solid asset you can feel around your neck. It's the ultimate counter-narrative to a system that often overlooks and undervalues the artists themselves. And most of all, it's a statement that says, "I made it." A broadcast to the world, and more importantly, to the neighborhood you came from, that success is possible. It's a beacon of aspiration, inspiring the next generation to dream bigger. From iced-out chains that can light up a dark room, to custom pendants telling a life story, to watches worth more than houses. The culture built an empire on shine. An entire ecosystem of jewelers, designers, and craftsmen rose up to meet the demand, creating a multi-billion-dollar industry fueled by this insatiable quest for brilliance. But here's the thing no one talks about: the quiet part of this very loud business. Behind the sparkle and the spectacle lies a world with its own set of rules, a world that operates in the shadows of perception. The jewelry industry, especially at this level, doesn't play by normal rules. It's an unregulated frontier where the lines between value and hype are deliberately blurred. There's no fixed pricing, no standard value. A chain that costs $10,000 to make can be sold for $50, $100, or even $200,000. The price isn't based on the weight of the gold or the clarity of the diamonds. Not really. It's based on a story. It's based on who wore it, who made it, and who wants it. It's a game of perception and power. And in that game, the house almost always wins. Take two chains, same weight, same diamonds, same craftsmanship. One sells for $20,000, the other $200,000. So what changed? Not the materials, not the work, just the story. Because in this world, value isn't based on what something is, it's based on what people believe it is. And that belief can be engineered. But pricing is just the surface. Behind the scenes, there's a system most people never see. A system where ownership isn't always real, transactions aren't always simple, and money doesn't always move the way you think. Because sometimes, the goal isn't to sell jewelry, it's to create the illusion of wealth. And sometimes, that illusion becomes more powerful than the wealth itself. Let's start with the foundation. There is no real price. A chain that costs $10,000 to produce can be sold for $100,000 if the right person wears it. Why? Because the moment a celebrity touches it, the value changes. Not physically, psychologically. And once that perception is locked in, it becomes the new reality. Now here's where it gets darker. We've talked about inflated value, but the real machinery of this world runs on something else entirely: debt. The entire system is built on a foundation of credit, where cash is rarely king. To understand this, you have to look past the shine of the final product and into the shadows of the backroom deal. It's a world of deferred payments, handshake agreements, and immense financial pressure, all hidden behind the illusion of effortless wealth. Many of these spectacular pieces you see online or at an award show aren't actually paid for up front. In fact, a large percentage are never purchased by the person wearing them at all. The idea of a celebrity walking in and dropping $1 million in cash for a chain is largely a myth, a piece of marketing theater. The reality is far more complex and far more precarious. Instead, they're financed. Jewelers often act as de facto lenders or work with third-party financiers who specialize in luxury assets. An aspiring artist might get a piece by putting a small fraction down, signing a high-interest loan for the rest. The jeweler gets a sale on their books, the finance company gets its cut, and the artist gets the chain. Everyone wins, for now. Or, they're loaned. This is the world of consignment. A jeweler provides a piece to a public figure for a specific period or a series of appearances. No money changes hands. The jeweler is betting that the exposure from the celebrity will increase the piece's value or drive other customers to their store. The celebrity gets the look of luxury for free. It's a symbiotic relationship built on mutual benefit and calculated risk. And most often, they're structured. This is where it gets truly sophisticated. The jewelry isn't a simple purchase, it's part of a multi-layered deal. A record label might structure an agreement where a custom piece is created for an artist as part of their marketing budget, with the cost recouped from future royalties. Or a jeweler might offer a piece in exchange for a percentage of an artist's tour, merchandise, sales. The jewelry becomes a tradable instrument, a line item in a complex business arrangement. Because in this system, a critical truth emerges. You don't need to own the asset, you just need to appear like you do. The physical object is secondary to the image it projects. Ownership is a technicality. Control of the narrative is everything. That appearance builds status. Suddenly, the artist isn't just talented, they're successful. They're mayoral. They are seen as someone who has reached a certain level of financial success, validated by the weight of the gold and diamonds around their neck. This perceived status is a powerful currency in an industry obsessed with hierarchy. That status builds influence. With status comes a new level of access and power. Brands take notice. Promoters offer better terms. Other artists want to collaborate. The chain acts as a key, unlocking doors that were previously closed. It signals to the gatekeepers of the industry that this person is a player, someone to be taken seriously, and that influence can be monetized. This is the final, crucial step. The influence gained from the appearance of wealth is converted back into actual wealth. Endorsement deals, appearance fees, higher streaming royalties, bigger concert guarantees. The money starts to flow in, created from the perception that the money was already there. It's a feedback loop, so the jewelry becomes more than decoration. It becomes leverage. It's an asset used to secure financing, a tool to build a brand, and a catalyst to generate income. The piece itself is just the beginning of a chain reaction, a financial instrument disguised as a fashion statement. And then, there's the flow of money. Because high-value luxury goods have one unique advantage: they're subjective, which means they can move value quietly, through deals, through resales, through networks most people never see. Now, not every transaction is suspicious, but the structure allows money to move in ways that aren't always obvious, and that's where things get complicated. So, what are you really looking at when you see $1 million chain? Is it wealth, success, or something designed to look like both? Because in the end, this was never just about diamonds. It was about perception, control, and understanding one simple truth. In a world driven by image, the most powerful asset is what people believe. In the end, what you see is what you believe.